Howdy guys, Cal here. I am starting off my week of guiding. I've been off the water for a few days, and I want to take a few minutes to talk to you guys about prospecting for trout. When you're a guide, or even when you're just an avid fisherman, it's important to be able to go out to a lake that you either haven't fished at all or haven't fished in some time, and prospect for trout and put together a pattern. You can't always put together a pattern, but if you can put together a pattern, you're just way ahead of the game because you know the depth, the speed, what bait you're using. So I'm by myself today. I got Lucy with me, so I can only run 2 rods. So here's my strategy, okay? Got 2 lead core rods set up. Surface temp, 56 degrees. It's ideal. Got a little breeze. It's just about 1 o'clock here, 12:48. So on one rod, I'm rigged up with an orange trigger minnow, okay? Why an orange trigger minnow? That is the last bait I was doing well on at this lake. So that gives me a basic starting point. I'm probably gonna run that trigger minnow, I'm gonna run that down 10 feet. Now, this is really my experimental rod, okay? I wanna know if I can still catch fish on orange minnows. But this is a fly that I haven't been pulling. This is a pink and white metalhead. In the past, it's been very, very good on this lake. We'll see. I haven't been pulling it, but this is my experimental rod, and I'm probably going to pull this for a half an hour or so and then change to something else. Change rods, change tactics, change depths, something like that. But I'm going to keep that orange minnow in the water. That's kind of my benchmark. I'm going to see if I can catch fish on that. I'm going to work some different areas, things like that. But I'm probably going to keep the orange minnow in the water a lot of the time. And this second rod is my experimental rod. If I'm catching fish on the orange minnow and I'm not catching fish on the pink and white fly, guess what? I know the pink and white fly isn't working. Conversely, if I catch 3 fish on this pink and white fly and never get a bite in the orange minnow, the bite has changed and I need to experiment more with colors pink and white. I'm not going to start out real fast here because it hasn't been a real fast bite. Typically, if I can get them going slow, I can possibly get them going fast, but it isn't real typical that I can get them going fast and I can't get them going slow, if that makes sense. So I'm going to hit some various areas. The last time I was out here, my hot depth was 10 feet. So I'm probably going to put one line down at 5 with this breeze, one line down at 10 with the trigger minnow, and let the experimenting begin. That's how you prospect for trout. You try to piece together the story. You have one, if you're by yourself and you can run 2 rods, you have one confidence rod and one experimental rod, and then you let the fish tell you what to do next. And if you can build a pattern, if I could get all my fish this afternoon on a pink and white fly, I'm a happy camper, because guess what? When I come out tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have 3 rods with pink and white flies, and I'm still gonna have 1 experimental rod, and I'm gonna run a total of 4 rods. I may end up playing with the downrigger this afternoon, playing with speed, different things like that. Just remember, prospecting is all about attempting to build a pattern and having at least 1 bait in the water that you have supreme confidence. See if this is a trout. Suspect it is. Could be a bass though. Don't know. We'll see. Ooh, he's pulling now. Ooh. He is really fighting. Wow. Pink and white metalhead, guys. Well, that's a nice big fish. That's a nice big rainbow trout. Here he comes. Here we go. Nice chunky fish. There's that pink and white metalhead right there. Toss that back in the water. Mr. Rainbow Trout right there. I'm going to revive him a little bit in the net. Beautiful fish, a solid 2-pounder. Nice chunky rainbow. Put up a great fight. Oh, he's ready to go. So guys, that guy floated after I let him go. So I got him, came back around in the boat, got him in the net. Now I'm letting him drag in the water a little bit and get some oxygenation through his gills. Water's nice and cool, so it shouldn't be a problem. There he goes. There he goes, and down he went. If you get a fish that floats like that, water's nice and cool, he swam out of the net and then he went belly up immediately. It's kind of like they're stunned or something. Came back around, netted that fish, and you saw right there, I gave him maybe 30 seconds to a minute to revive in the net, and off he went and down he went. Else he would have ended up inside an eagle. Okay guys, first fish of the day came at about 5 or 6 feet deep on that pink and white metalhead, and that was the second bite I had on that pink and white metalhead. I think I hooked one fish for a second because the rod, I was sitting on the couch here, the rod was behind me. I heard it shake and turned around just in time to see it, you know, pop back up. Have not had a touch of my orange minnow. So my orange minnow's still fishing, pink and white metalhead's back out there. What I'm rigging up right now on another lead core rod is one of my bubblegum pink Trout Trix worms. Just got out a new leader. Rather than pull the orange minnow out of the water, rebait, do all that, I'm a big believer in keeping the baits in the water. I got plenty of rods here, so I'm gonna rig this third rod up ready to go. Then I'm gonna reel the orange minnow in and get this worm in there working. So haven't built a pattern yet, but I'm working on it. I've had 2 bites on that pink and white metalhead. I'm seeing some fish down deeper, so once I get this worm rigged up, I'm gonna actually put this worm down at 15 feet. Okay, another thought about building a pattern and approaching a lake that you haven't fished, or a lake you haven't fished in a while. You have to put limited weight on what other people tell you. When I got up here today, I had 2 guys tell me they've been here multiple days and the fishing is really, really hard. There's not that many fish in the lake. It's just a struggle. It's a grind, okay? You can't let the results of others influence you. You've got to have an A plan, a B plan, and a C plan. You've got to get out there and you've got to fish your plan. Often when the fishing's good for someone else, you can't catch another guy's fish. And likewise, don't let that negative information you're getting affect your mindset. Get out there, assume you're going to be able to catch fish, and work through your plan. Take in all the information you can when you're out on the water. Like I saw some fish deeper, so guess what? I'm gonna drop down a little bit deeper. Start putting all those pieces of the puzzle together. Ignore the negativity, and you are gonna be yelling fish on more often than not, okay? So just remember, fish your plan, fish your fish. Don't worry about what other people are doing. It's good to, I spy on other fishermen all the time, but I don't let someone tell me they're not biting or this area isn't good and things like that influence what I'm gonna do out on the water. Let's get this worm rigged up, get it back in the water, see if we can hook up. Fish on, orange metalhead, 15 feet deep, guys. Skimming that right across the bottom, up in shallow water. Oh yeah. Still feels funny though. Some head shakes, he's just staying down. Nice trout. Nice big trout. There we go. Woo! Nice big trout. Not huge, but a bad quality fish, that's for sure. There's the trout right there. We'll get him revived, get him back in the water. Nice chunky rainbow. There he goes. That guy swam away just fine, and there's a fly. Orange metalhead. I am running a stinger hook, although I didn't need it on that one. He had it way back in the corner of his mouth. So nice rainbow right back here, sitting right back here on the mud flat, about 15 feet deep. I probably had that fly positioned at 12 or 13 feet, sweeping it right across the bottom, and fish on. He hit it really soft. He had it back in his mouth, but not a lot of head shaking. He just kind of took that rod down, and fought better when I got him closer to the boat. Anyhow, let's get it back in the water and see if we can get another. Well guys, I'm about to wrap it up for the afternoon. I'm gonna say my scouting mission was partially successful. While I didn't establish a single bait in a single color that was getting all the bites, which I love to do, that allows me to stack up a bunch of fish really quickly, I was able to eliminate a bunch of baits that they weren't willing to hit. I got 0 hits on spoons, 0 hits on soft plastics, including grubs, trigger minnows, and Trout Trix worms, which is odd, but they weren't hitting them today. All the fish I caught came on metalhead trolling flies, anywhere from 5 to 15 feet deep, but they came on a bunch of different colors. I got fish on pink and white, I got fish on bright orange, I got fish on brown, and I got fish on black. So I wasn't able to refine the color selection down very much. So what am I going to do in the morning? I've got 4 clients on the boat and very good friends of mine, and they want to catch some trout. Well, I'm going to start out with what was working. I'm going to run a black metalhead, an orange metalhead, and that pink and white metalhead, and I'm going to run those at 5, 10, and 15 feet of water on the lead core rods, 5, 10, and 15 feet deep off the lead core. Up top, I am going to run this little blue and silver Rapala. I've had a lot of success on that lure in this lake, so I'm going to put that back about 175 to 200 feet. No weight. I'm just going to, classic top line it on monofilament. My target speed tomorrow is going to be anywhere from about 2.3 to 2.6, maybe a little faster. I'm going to come right out of the box in the morning, moving fast, covering ground, and my B plan, that's my A plan. My B plan is to slow down. I'm going to give the soft plastics another try. I'm going to keep the flies in the water, of course, and I also want to experiment with threaded worms, and I may run those off the downrigger because I saw some marks down at 20 feet today. So I've got a rod all rigged up. I've got a Diamondback Dodger rigged up with a slow death hook. All I need to do is throw a half a threaded crawler on there, drop it down on the downrigger when I see marks, and see if they'll respond to that. But we're definitely starting out hard and aggressive with the metalheads, and then we'll go from there. But I have an A plan, I have a B plan, and I have a C plan. So we'll see what works the best. We'll stay after them. I don't expect to get early limits or anything tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be wide open. It could be, but I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting that we're going to have to work for every strike. We're going to get our opportunities, and we may well get a big fish on the end of the line, but we're going to have to execute. We're going to have to make the most of every strike. We're going to have to land as many of the fish as we hook as possible. The good news today was they weren't really nipping at it. The ones I got to go, they were well hooked. They were hooked well back in the mouth. No problem landing those fish. So anyway, fingers crossed, we are going to have a great day tomorrow. If you're looking for any of the gear I just mentioned, Diamondback Dodgers, lead core trolling rods, metalheads, and more, you know where to go. FHSfishing.com, and we will put you, we'll hook you up with the gear you need to get out on the water and yell fish on. If anything exciting happens tomorrow, you know me, I'll kick on the camera and I will share it with you right here on YouTube. Thanks a ton, guys. Thanks for all the support, and you have a wonderful day.